You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're great.
You're
Hey,
great.
Derek.
You're
Are we
great.
gonna have nicknames for each other each episode?
You're
I think
great.
we should.
You're great.
I'm Underboob. That's the original. That's the OG. So you're Nev Nips. I'm
great.
Underboob.
Oh wait, let's not give away the studio production value we have here.
It's pretty low.
You're probably going to sing anyway, so you might as well just use
That's
that
a
part,
good
you
point.
know? You're great.
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 No, you're great.
No, you're great.
No, you're great.
Oh, welcome to the Hug Life podcast. I'm Mike Been a While Coletta.
And I am Monica Crocodile Nevi. I was trying to do like been a while crocodile.
Been a while, Crocodile. That's fun.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever legitimately said that to someone? If they said, "See you later, alligator," have you been after a while?
What does you
crocodile?
say? After a while, that's what it is.
Mhm. Have you ever
I'd be
done
like,
that?
take your time.
See you later, alligator.
Take your time.
Take your
Crocodile.
time, crocodile.
Hope not soon, Crocodile. No.
Nope, not soon, crocodile.
I don't think, I feel like my grandma used to say
That's a total grandma thing.
that. Anyways, I'm the Crocodile. That's my new radio host name.
The crocodile in the morning,
Yeah.
making crocodile
then-
noises like. "Ugh."
Yeah, they make weird noises.
You ever
I
seen
bet.
Monica do a death roll? I have, where she grabs onto a piece of kale and rolls on the floor with it to make sure it's dead.
Till it rips into shreds so I can make a delicious sound.
Mm-hmm. Tasty
Yeah.
salad. Some say that step's unnecessary, but Monica disagrees.
Burns those extra calories.
I
you
got my
know?
Happy Magic Go-Go juice. Let's do this episode.
Wait, is that a DC?
It's a DC.
Okay.
Gray
No,
lady with diamonds.
No DMD.
No
No dick me down?
DMD. I haven't had a dick me down in a long time.
Been a while, Coletta.
Get it?
huh?
Because it sounds like gay sex. I think I don't know why saying gay sex is so funny to me.
Oh my God, when people are upset about like books and stuff, whatever, and they're just like homosexual intimacy or something, you're like, don't make it weird. It's weird because you said it like that.
'Cause
Do
you
you
said
say
gay sex, it
heterosexual
makes it way-
intimacy? Yeah, like
I'm ready to have straight sex.
they're depicting gay sex. And I'm like, okay, you don't need to depict straight sex either.
You
How
don't need
about
to
that?
depict sex, period.
Keep that to yourself.
With that said, though, my new merch is a sex coloring book. I'm
So
selling
that's
that.
nice.
Yeah, I'm selling that with.
I
colored
thought it was
pencils
going to
and
be like a
crayons.
sex toy. And what are the pictures of?
Just
other people having
other
sex,
people
or
having
you?
sex. Other people having sex.
You're like, people I've taken photos of over the years.
It's
I-
my drawings of people in my mind having sex, and it's totally fine. Everything's normal. Everything's great.
Oh, you're like, my therapist told me to use it in a constructive way, so I made merch. Here
So I
you
made
go.
merch out of it, which is why Captain Crunch is having sex with Tony the Tiger. It's just cereal mascots.
I mean, that's funny. That's not as creepy, obviously.
It's just like it's
Well-
pornography, but it's serial characters.
And those are more fun to color. You know,
That's true.
people are pretty boring to color, honestly, but cartoon characters and stuff, a lot more colors and
We all know
fun
crunch
shapes.
berries means balls. We all know that.
You want to crunch on my berries?
Crunch on my berries.
Maybe don't crunch them. I don't know.
I mean, that would hurt, but we've all been there.
I've never had my berries
Where
crunched.
I've
but, you
crunched
know.
my berries on accident when I'm like sitting down too
Got
hard.
it, got it. I had crunch berries this morning, if you know what I'm saying.
Hey,
Uh,
out of my balls.
oh shit, we're off to a fun start here.
We're back in it today. All right, what shows you got coming up?
I have, well, this week I'm off because I am officiating a wedding, but it gives us plenty of time next week, big month, November, lots of crap, not crap. It's very exciting. Wednesday, November 3rd, I'm in Turner, Oregon, and I forget what the venue is called. Thursday, Friday, and Sunday of that week, which is like the 4th, 5th, and 7th, I am hosting the first week of the Seattle International Comedy Competition. That Friday, the November 5th, is the secret show. Going to be great. We already have sold like actually quite a few tickets, and we're 2 weeks out right now. Well, a week and a half. So if you're hearing this and you're going to come to the secret show, I would get your tickets now. Same for November 6th. I'm at Carco Theater, new show I'm doing with the theater itself in Renton. really, we want to do it quarterly. So we want this one to go well. We have sold quite a few tickets. But again, if you're going to get them, if you want the VIP ones, they're almost sold out. General admission is available. And that's Tyler Bowe is headlining, Aaron Engel feature, and Amani Taylor doing a guest spot with me, your lovely, lovely host. But my calendar should be pretty updated.
She's
I'll
gonna
update
face
my
that like
calendar
it wasn't
too.
updated.
I was like, I don't remember.
Well,
But those are my dates.
I am going to be in the bustling metropolis of Brush Prairie, Washington this Friday with
Which you
Primitive Pio.
did not need to look up what it was called.
I definitely had to look up so I could read it, and because I keep wanting to say Bush Prairie or
Bush
Brush
Prairie.
Prairie, just really just screwing this up. I'll be there this Friday, and then my November is also a little bit busier, so I'm going to be that first week in November. I won't be at the Secret Show because I will be in Grand Rapids, Michigan at Dr. Grin's Comedy Club with former guest of the podcast, Kelsey Cook. I got merch. I got new shirts coming in the mail this week.
Ooh, can you tell us? Can you give us any?
I mean, there's
hints?
still I'm doing the spider shirts.
Oh,
as
shirts. Nice.
For the first time to see how they sell because I'm really curious about it. And I was like, oh, I feel like magnets just are very niche, you know, and I feel like a shirt would sell better. So I'm trying
magnets
that out.
are just cheaper. That's the only reason
But
people do them. So shirts are people love shirts. People love shirts.
But I do have a new design idea that I'm going to try to make up here soon. So hopefully I'll have some new merch because I've been selling the spider shit for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time. Well, that's the thing about like because I sold the underwear for so long that I had to keep doing that joke.
Yeah, and I'm really tired of doing the spider joke, but people like it, so that's fine.
Right. The underwear.
And no one in Grand Rapids, Michigan seen it. So there you go.
There you go. You guys get the shirts first.
Get the shirts first. What's a bummer though, and I can already tell I'm going to upset people because they ran out the supply chain shortage. There was no XL size, double XL. I mean, so I only have small through XL, and there's no double XL. So I'm like, hey, sorry, COVID supply chains issues.
And they'll be like, I gained all this weight during COVID. I need a 2X.
I gained all this weight for this show to come watch you.
To buy that shirt.
Because I heard you like eating too. Well, then I can interest you in my serial mascot sex comic book. It's not a comic book. It's no longer a comic book.
And
it's got a
magnet.
It's got a narrative.
There's a story, but you can still color it in yourself.
Oh yeah, of course. If you want
like a color in comic book.
Definitely. Very erotic.
All right. Very erotic. All right. You said you had a lexical embrace.
I do have a lexical embrace. I'm gonna lexically embrace decorating sugar cookies.
Okay.
Because I had people over yesterday and one of them brought sugar cookies and they brought the decorations for it and we did it and I was like, I forgot how much fucking fun this is.
It's super fun. I think people, adults especially, get made an orange bat. Look at you.
Construction bat.
Really defying the laws of nature. I think people forget how nice it is to be creative.
It's fun
as an adult, you know, and with no pressure. You're like, we're just having fun making some cookies or whatever. Oh my gosh, at our like engagement party, I guess. I don't know. We had like a family party about our.
It was
wedding.
The one I wasn't invited to, listener, if you're wondering.
It's legitimately only my family and Aaron's But my
I thought this was Olive Garden.
Did this game where we just sat at our little table and then everyone had a piece of paper and they had to draw us together and we had to pick which one was the best and they won a prize. And it was so fucking funny. People are not good at drawing. And like, just like my mom gave us boobs and stuff. And so did my dad, but my dad he drew stick figures, right? And then he draws boobs. So it looks like just, you know, like an affinity symbol, but like way up here on your neck. It was so, they're
just like
so
boobs
funny.
Are. Just like
and
boobs
then
are.
Everybody else who tried to like actually draw, it looks like just terrible.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we were like crying. We were laughing so hard. And everybody else is like having such a funny time drawing them too. Like my uncle halfway through, he goes, God, I hope Erin doesn't think this is what I think she looks like. But it's fun. Like, it was just fun to be creative, even if you're bad at drawing or whatever. Like, it's just a fun thing. So decorating cookies is always really fun because you're like, it's just fun and
then you get to eat the art.
And then, of course, yes, you also get to eat.
I also painted a pumpkin at school one day. I painted a Pac-Man pumpkin.
Okay, I see how that made me feel like we should lexically embrace like doing holiday activities as an adult, which we during the Christmas and stuff, you and I have done lots of those things. But like I don't really like Halloween. Sorry, everybody.
I like the fall.
Yeah, I love the fall.
I just don't like. I don't understand why it has to be so spooky all the gosh darn time.
I agree.
I'm so scared.
But I've actually done like a pumpkin patch and stuff like that this year, and I haven't in
Get
the
some
past.
hot apple cider. Pick out a giant squash-like.
Go through a corn maze.
I love a good corn maze.
Fun. Yeah.
Non-scary, the puzzle variety. That's what I want.
Delilah.
Yeah, Delilah's very loud today. I'm sorry, everyone. She loves corn mazes though, because at the end I put wet food.
I also watched a documentary today about a whale.
About a whale?
Yeah, and it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. It's called, oh, I don't remember if The Loneliest Whale on Earth. It's about this whale, and they call it 52, that has a frequency of like the sound that it makes. That's 52 hertz. So it's like way different than any other whale. And they've like have heard it over the years. And basically they were like, if we find this other whale, then it's like a new species of whale that we know, but it's like making the sound, and no other whales know how to respond to it because it's such a different sound. And so this filmmaker decides he really wants to find 52.
Do they find it? Spoilers?
Kind of, yeah. Yes. I mean,
turns out it was just a man crooning into the ocean.
Spoiler alert. I don't really quite understand why the tone is so different, but it's a hybrid of like a blue whale and a humpback whale or something like that. Like it's a mix of the two. So very interesting stuff, but I really enjoyed it.
Very interesting stuff.
I mean, we've been watching all the docs on like, corrupt people and murder and
all the classics.
We just watched the Elizabeth Holmes one, and then this was like, I just want to learn about a fucking whale. Yeah.
Which one's that one called?
I literally watched it last night. Inventor. I think it might just be called Inventor.
I think I saw that. Is that not new then? I think I see it
on HBO. I don't think it's that new. I think it just came up for us. I don't know.
Oh, because I saw it when it came out. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
she's like the lady who talks real deeply.
Yes.
She's like, I have made something very genius.
52 hertz.
I am a hybrid of an inventor and a bowhead whale.
But yeah, I was gonna say the noises underwater, the lower tones travel farther.
Nice.
Which I didn't know. Look at us learning so much today. Sorry, I'm excited, but that's what it's a positive podcast. So I'm being positive about whales for just a moment. I didn't know that most whale calls that you hear are sped up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can't even hear them because they're so low sometimes and slow. So then they speed them up. Like when you hear, you're like watching the sonar or whatever, then they speed them up on most shows. And they said that on the thing where they played the 52, it's a call, and it almost sounds like scratching a little bit, like it sounded really weird, and the director was like, well, that's not what I assumed a whale would sound like. And then she sped it up 10 times, and it kind of sounds like a normal whale that you would hear, free willy underwater type of thing. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'll get the name for you specifically, but I do think it's the loneliest whale on Earth.
The loneliest whale on Earth.
Because they thought it was the only one of that type of whale, which they still think that. So.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'll watch this then. That's a good lexical phrase.
It was on Hulu.
Dancing. Hulu, that's very important because I refuse to pay for anything. Okay.
Right. As do I.
Real quick plugs. Okay. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/huglifepodcast. Donate $1 a month. You get a Patreon episode. We'll be recording a new one very soon.
Yes.
This week. Also, you can go to our Instagram at Hug Life Podcast. You can go to Amazon. You can go to monicanevi.com. Sorry, she's making like crooning.
I don't think they can hear it, but that is pretty loud.
Yeah, she's very loud. Okay, so it's wow, totally threw off my game. monicanevi.com or huglifepodcast.com. There's an Amazon banner. Click on top of the banner like you normally would. And shop like you normally would. It's been a while since I said this.
I know.
And you can get yourself something about whales, a whale book.
Or
like, look at these whales.
I bought my Halloween costume today.
Ooh, what is it?
Going to be a white claw.
Nice. No laws, white claws.
It says white clam on it, which is hilarious. But it's like just funny. A whole. I wanted to be a dragon because Aaron's Khaleesi, but they didn't have any dragons.
Oh.
I know. So I am a White Claw instead.
I don't even have a costume.
You know how I like a real comfortable costume. I don't
I
want to
know
be.
Monica likes a
I
giant.
don't want to be cold. I don't want to be. So I like just some fuzzy animal onesie or something, or it's the same material as the banana suit. That was like, squishy.
What if we switched places with the norms and you wore like White Claws and I was a sexy nurse?
Yeah, I think that's
That'd be
what
good.
we've been trying to do. Yeah.
Problem is, can't find that sexy nurse costume that fits well enough. Spirit Halloween.
They're running. It's the supply chain. They don't have any 2Xs.
That's right. You need double X supply chain. Good callback. Okay. So I have a story for our next segment. Would you like to jump into that?
Yes. Okay. Hey guys, good news.
Hey, welcome to the good news segment. Be Michaeletta. Trusting the tribes has saved a true Amazonian river monster. First and foremost, have you ever watched the show River Monsters?
Yes, a couple of times.
I love that guy. He's so intense. Big fan. But he caught a fish called an arapaima at one point. He's caught it a couple times, I feel like, during the show, or mentions it a lot during the show. That fish was going extinct. And then Brazil's government went to the tribes in the Amazon where this fish is cultivated and were essentially like, hey, and convince them to be like, if you stop harvesting this fish and we really crack down on poaching, we can get tourism in here and you'll make way more money, like as a tribe. And that totally worked. And now the arapaima is coming back.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. I mean,
this fish, by the way, is here. What was the stats on the fish? It can get up to 10 feet in length and weigh 440 pounds. It is a huge fish.
440 pounds. That sounds like a whale.
Yeah, it's giant for a river. It's a river monster. It's huge. But I just thought this was a cool story because
that is anytime the animals are being saved,
mm-hmm.
or the planet. I don't know.
Talking about whales and planets. That was it. That was the story.
That's really went well with my whale tangent.
I didn't even intentionally mean for it to happen. It just happened.
We're doing great. Okay. Was that the end of the segment?
That was the end.
Okay. Hey guys, that was good news. Ooh. Okay. I have a top 5 for us today.
Top 5 turnaround.
And I think it's kind of weird, maybe.
Hey, I'm really good at this game though, but it's been a while. So let's do this.
Well, it's not that weird, but I'm going to give you
top 5 cereal mascots to fuck.
I feel like we've already done that one. So that's a pretty good one though. Okay. This is weather. So that you live in an extreme climate of this type of weather. And it's like, you have to say why it's good that you
it's good.
Because right now I feel like, I don't know what it is about this time is when the weather's like very extreme in whatever way that it is. You know what I mean? Like
it gets stormy out.
Yeah, it's stormy.
Windy.
If you live in like a really cold climate, this is when it starts to get cold. And then if you live in one of those weird places like Texas is when it's like still hot.
And you're like, this is strange. I don't like it.
Yeah. So I'm going to give you 5 different weather types, and it would be the extreme version of that. And these are okay. I'll explain them as we go. But number 1, okay. Why would you want to live here and never go to any other type of climate?
Okay.
Number 1 is hot, like really not tropical. I'm talking like desert hot.
I think I would lose weight.
Okay.
Like I'd look good after being
like you just sweat all the time.
Mike's been living in the desert in like 115 degree heat for like a year and a half, and he looks banging.
You'd probably have to drink more water too, which is always
it would be healthier. And also, when it gets really hot outside, I don't know about you, but I don't like to eat. Like that's the only time in my life I don't like to eat is when it's really, really hot out.
Interesting.
And I'm like, I don't like this.
Especially because I feel like it narrows down the things that you would like to eat because you don't really want to eat hot stuff.
Yeah. Also, I'd get really tan too. Overall, I just look like a Greco-Roman god by the end of it.
You know what I would also say? I don't really like to drink when it's hot.
Drink beer, booze, right? Not water. You got to drink water.
Yes.
I don't like to drink water when it's hot. I like to die.
Yeah. No. Yes. Drink alcohol.
That's true.
You feel sicker faster.
I won't be all bloated. I'll be hella hydrated, unfed, sober, tan. Did I
It's-
just
yeah.
did I just positive spin climate change?
You, you legitimately just moved to Joshua Tree.
Yeah, look at me.
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, the opposite would be like a tundra. Alaska. Have you moved back to Alaska?
Well, I will tell you, the tundra has some beautiful wilderness attached to it.
Really?
Yes,
Really?
it does. You got moose, you got wolves, bears, you got crazy cool trees. Have you seen tundra trees? The long, skinny
No.
pine trees, they don't get enough nutrients, so they go really tall and skinny. It's very interesting.
Okay. I feel like I have seen those.
But also, I love an excuse to stay inside. So I
This
get
is
to
the opposite then.
yeah, it's
physically.
like, oh, I get to stay inside and hang out. And I'm assuming I have internet, which means the world's my oyster. So
Sure.
it'll be
Sure.
good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Number 3 would be wet all the time. It rains a lot. I mean, but probably pretty close to the old Northwest here, but there's a lot of temperate climate is what they say, but just rains a lot.
My car would be clean on the
Mm.
outside. I wouldn't have to get car washes. That's the first thing I think of. The second, like whenever it rains in Washington, I'm like, sick. Don't have to go to Brown Bear. Taking care of it right now.
Everybody always says that, which is hilarious, but that's like a very common either. You're like, oh, you brought the rain with you if it rains anywhere, or oh, I don't have to wash my car today.
Mhm. So I'm like
Sure.
that. I'm a basic bitch like that. Okay, but also
I was gonna say, you're
other
just
thing
gonna
I
go
love
with the car
about
thing.
wet. Other thing I love about wet is I like wearing rain gear.
Okay.
This is a weird thing. I
Interesting.
love wearing a raincoat. Like I love putting it on and being like, haha, fuck you, rain. Look at me. Super
Get
dry.
in here.
It's also this feeling of like when you see someone not wearing a raincoat and you're wearing a raincoat, you feel like prepared.
You're like, you
I'm like,
dummy.
I am so much better than you in so many ways. Like, look how
Do
much-
you ever use an umbrella?
Sometimes I'm not opposed to an umbrella. I know some people in Washington are very anti-umbrella, but I am
don't-
not.
I don't like it. I just don't like carrying stuff, but then you'd have to use it all. I think my thing with it is that if you were going to commit to using an umbrella all the time, you'd have to fucking take it with you everywhere. And I hate
Yeah.
that. That's why I prefer the rain jacket. Let's just get out there and see what happens.
I also think there's something about being in like a coffee shop in like mid to late afternoon when it's raining that you're just like, this is a mood
Yes.
and I'm here for it.
And
you
for
know?
some reason, that mood is when I feel the most productive and
Yeah,
I feel
you're,
like
like,
I'm not
getting shit
missing
done.
out on anything else.
Look at me out here in the rain writing the great American novel about
Probably
cereal
this-
mascots.
Yeah,
Fucking-
because I was
it's the third
born
callback.
of
We'll do it again.
born of the sea,
Born of the ocean.
born of the rain.
Of the
Um,
tide. I think
all
I nailed
right.
it.
Number 4, you're in a climate that never changes. So there's
Oh,
no seasons.
Well, we lived in Los Angeles, so that's
Yeah,
pretty much the same.
yeah,
No season. Well,
which is pretty.
there
gross,
is
but-
like the good thing about this, even though I don't personally like that, is I think it's good that you can have one wardrobe all year. You
Okay.
don't have to buy as many clothes of
That's
different
fair.
types.
And then people are like, "Oh, I put my summer clothes away. These are my winter clothes." And you
Yeah,
gotta move it around. You
like,
just have
oh,
the same clothes all the time.
I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt every single day. Like, and it's fine, you know.
That's fair. Yeah.
So
And you
I like
love
that.
cargo shorts, so that's.
I love the pockets. Look at all the pockets I have, and I don't put enough stuff in them. I should put more stuff in them. you know?
Look at all the pockets I have.
My name's Michael. I got so many pockets.
Hey, I'm Mike. Look at my pockets.
You want the antacids? I got them. You want some Tums, some Pepto? Got some covered
He
in
said,
there.
"Do you want to take acid?"
You want to take some acid? I got some acid in here. Mushrooms in the left, acid on the right. LSD in the butt pocket. You know.
You got to remember, you don't want to mix those up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can keep the same wardrobe all the time.
Yes.
All right, and so the final one is then that it's always changing, which I think I thought of this because everyone has some thing about the weather where they're from, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's often very similar. But I'm running an experiment. I'll just tell the hug bugs because I don't want anybody else to know yet. I've been doing this joke that seems like a local joke, but I've been doing it everywhere. And it works everywhere because everyone thinks the same. And so I want to then cut it together where it says like a different city each time I do the joke, but they laugh the same, which is exactly what happens. And this is how I feel about the weather. It's not really about the weather, but it's kind of about the landscape. But about people and the weather where they're like, oh, well, if you don't like the weather now, wait 5 minutes or whatever, because it changes all the time. They say that in Denver, they say that in Texas, they say that in all these other places. And then if it's a hot place, then they're always like, oh, you think this is hot, this is nothing. Or, oh, you think this is cold, this is nothing. Like it's just everyone has some like, oh, I'm an insider about the weather here. Like
That was gonna be my top 5 was that if the weather changes, you immediately have a conversation started. If that's your thing. If that's your thing though. And it's for some people it is. Like that's their whole damn thing. It's like their
It
personality is based around the weather changing. So they could be like, hey, this is crazy. It's
It is funny because we would always have made fun of that. Like I feel like in shows and like jokes, people have been like, oh, when it's awkward, you just talk about the weather or, like whatever. But people do that all the time.
How many people?
It's pretty interesting.
How many people have started families based on dumb weather conversations? Been like, I was at an airport. I talked to this lady. Hey, it's raining. This is crazy.
It's really raining.
2 years later, we're married. We have a kid. All because it rained outside.
Married in the rain.
Married in the rain. Sexual summer. That's why the kid's here. Sexual summer.
Sexual summer.
Mm-hmm. You've heard of Hot Boy Summer coming this spring. Sexual
spring. We like to
start early.
Yeah,
it's like
so everyone knows by the time it's summer.
Yeah, they have the Thanksgiving decorations at Halloween. It's like that. Okay.
Or
it's
like the new model of a car comes out at the end of the year before.
Yes.
Okay,
The 2022 Sexual Summer by Chevy comes out this December.
Sexual Summer. Oh my God. Okay. Well, you did pretty good. I thought that was pretty.
Thank you. It's been a while. I felt kind of rusty.
You could make it work anywhere. You want to hear a update on our crazy neighbors?
Yes, I do.
We got a cast on the arm now.
Oh, wow.
Did I report about him punching through their front window?
Did you?
I don't know. If you're new to the show, where I record this lovely podcast from my room, my office area, I can see our craziest of neighbors across the street. And they're just maybe having a tough time. I don't know. They
really
drink a
crushing
lot.
it.
They party. I would assume maybe some drug use. They fight a lot. And then one day, I don't know, 1 p.m., I was outside cleaning the barbecue. And then I hear glass. What it sounded like people were carrying a big panel of glass.
And they dropped it.
And it dropped. Yeah, but that's not what happened. He was punching through their front window. And all you hear is someone like, Justin, stop. Justin, what are you doing? Stop it.
That's a total Justin move.
I know.
A guy named Justin, punch a window.
Yeah. And our fun neighbors next door texted immediately and was like, hey, so our super sober neighbor just punched through his own window. And I was like, I heard it. I watched it. It was great. But he didn't have a cast on then. The cops came and stuff because he was bleeding. And then
what a cool guy.
Now he's got a cast on. So he was just standing outside. That's what made me think of it. But so maybe he'll let us sign his cast.
Can I sign your cast?
Hey, I'd never want to talk to you, but can I sign your cast? It is the reason I have bonded with the ladies at the gas station right next to us is because we talk about them all the time.
You sign his cast, windows up.
Yeah, the woman in the house over there was in the gas station right before I was yesterday. And so as soon as she left, they were like, oh my God, guess what?
This is a bumping gas station.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's a good time. They're fun ladies.
That's awesome.
Anyways, that's my neighborhood and gas station.
No, I love these neighborhood. I love neighborhood drama. I'm into it.
I love it. I really do. I've heard there's another. So next door, obviously, actually, I think you told me about next door first. It's rough sometimes, I like a silliness. It gets rather political on next door.
It really does, which is why I think just looking at the Twitter best of next door is funny because it only really pulls the funny moments and not the hellscape that is the actual Nextdoor app of racism and shittiness. Yes,
we just got some new cameras for the outside because we have an indoor camera already, but we got 2 new cameras for the outside, like just the Blink Amazon ones or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently there's an app with that just called Neighbors, and you just post videos from those. And so that's just all videos of people. I don't know. I suppose probably trying to steal stuff, but I'm sure there's plenty of drama on there,
Porch pirating.
Yeah. And then being called out. I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. We haven't really seen much on our camera.
That's lame. Yeah. You got to get
I know. I mean, it's good. It's good.
Also,
nobody's in my yard or anything.
Friend of the podcast, Rachel Afjay, always has shit on her camera, which I
know.
love.
Well, she's got it where
it's like an alley behind her house.
Well, yeah, it's pointing to their parking area, which we have one of those too. And we have 3 cameras. We have to put the third one up on the house so it can see the cars and stuff. that might pick more stuff up, but I want to be able to see where those fucking squirrels get in my car.
These fucking piece of shit squirrels.
Yeah, but she gets a lot of like, she'll get birds and stuff right next to it because they land there. So I was thinking, because we have one that's in the backyard, one that's on the porch, some sort of animal or something. It's just me most of the time.
Some sort of wild animal out here.
It's just me most of the time, or the mailman. That's it.
You think the mailman's feeding the squirrels? Real talk.
No, but I'm going to talk about how loud he's knocking. Scares the shit out of me.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, can you not knock so loud? I'm a human being.
He uses that little like that little electronic tag thing, you know, that where they like check in.
Beep.
And then he slams the back of it against the door. Like, Jesus Christ.
Jeez Louise, man.
Yeah, I'm right here.
I'm a person. Okay. Do you want to do a charity?
Yes. Sorry, I have a charity. This week, couple weeks, whatever it is about Native American communities and the economies. You know, I don't think it's a bad thing, but I think we do go through phases of charities. Does that make sense? Not with us necessarily, even though we do, but I think people in general.
Oh yeah, like based on the month, like it's like a breast cancer month. You have a breast cancer.
Yes,
charity.
that
yeah.
Sure, for sure. But then also like maybe something specific's happening. We're doing a lot of natural disaster, border stuff, whatever. I think Native American help has become a bit more popular, which is exciting. So I thought I would find a good one in case this is something you have seen the trend of and are interested in. Real high score here, 96 on Charity Navigator. It's called firstnations.org. It is a Native American charity because First Nations is what they call the Native people of Canada, but it's still firstnations.org. And they, it's great. It's for Native American people can apply for grants through them. So your money would go to then actually give grants to people trying to start businesses and stuff. And then also just the normal things, I don't know, providing actual services and food and stuff for people in the Native American community. Firstnations.org.
I love that. What a great charity.
Thanks.
What a great episode. We got to talk about Monica's neighbor situation, whales.
Neighbor update.
We got to talk about weather.
Yeah.
Decorating cookies.
This is how long we've been doing a podcast. We did a show about the weather.
We did the weather in a better way than most people do.
We always do that.
So is there anything you want to say to the listener before we go today?
Oh, I love you so much.